Hello there, everyone, and it's so good to be back this week with another MamaMagic Live. And this week, it's me again, it's my turn. Projeni, Managing Director of Exposure Marketing and the founder of MamaMagic, the baby expo that you all love going to. And today we're going to be talking to a mama that we work with lots and we've had great fun working with, and that's Marie-Louise from Just a Mama. Now, she's been an absolute delight. We've been working with her for a few years now. She has three beautiful children, and she is the guest editor for our next issue of Milestones magazine, which is out right now. So if let me see if she's on yet. There we go. Please join us in the conversation. We're so excited to have her with us. We've got lots to talk about, lots to share with you because we worked so hard on this magazine. There she is.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine, and yourself? How are you doing?
Well, I'm coping.
Yeah, I
Right?
think like that's everybody's kind of just keep swimming.
Yeah, keep swimming. Exactly. I think it's not the easiest of times,
No.
but we all put a great smile and work each day and wake up to a bright tomorrow, right?
Yes, and I think today a lot of people started with like distance learning, distance
Oh,
education. So I think that's like I definitely woke up this morning with a okay, I wasn't planning on homeschooling, but let's do it.
I know. We will also
Yeah.
you really respect all those teachers out there, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
really so much of respect for them. I think handling a class full of kids, and here we are dealing with two or three at home, and it's a struggle,
Yeah,
right?
and especially I think, I mean, your kids, I mean, I used to be a teacher, but I mean, my kids don't want me to be their teacher. I mean, they're like, you're my mom, you know? So yeah, I've got so much just respect for the effort that the teachers are putting into like giving us resources and stuff to do with the kids that's not just something to keep them busy, but it's actually like we're trying to like salvage whatever we can of the academic year.
Right.
Yeah, so everybody's just trying, I think, to do their part.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do here with Mama Magic and you and all the other amazing people that we're bringing onto our live Mama Magic live posts every week, is that we just want to help entertain you, educate, and inspire all our community of moms and dads out there. So thank you for joining us.
Oh,
Now,
pleasure.
you have three beautiful girls, right?
Yes.
We see them all on your when we follow you. They're absolutely amazing. Um,
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure having you as our guest editor on this issue of Milestones. So, did you have fun with us? I hope.
Oh, I think like it was so much fun, and especially uh, everything we started getting the ball on the roll, and then lockdown happened, and I was like, oh, what now? Like, is there even going to be a magazine? It's like that one time you get to be guest editor, and the whole world stops. Um, but it was actually such an incredible experience for me, even doing it through lockdown, because it gave me like somewhere to be completely somewhere else, something that took my mind off of everything happening in the moment. And it was so much fun working towards like creating something for other moms that is something so much bigger, so much more helpful, working with your team. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do. I
I'm
think
glad.
people yeah, I think people don't realize how much fun it is and how amazing and diverse and huge the MamaMagic team is. But like with every person that I've worked with on different projects, it's just always been amazing because you guys really are a family.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's it. We live and breathe what we put out there, and
Exactly, exactly.
that's what we want everybody to learn from. We all, it's a family, it's a big family, it really is. And
Yeah.
our mum community that we formed is relation formed with all these mums over the past 15 years. We're one just big happy family. Now,
Yeah.
when you look at all the articles that you've done and we've done together, and what's the one favorite thing you think that everybody's going to like in this magazine that we've got out now? What?
I definitely appreciate the fact that you guys had so much COVID-19 content, and it's practical stuff. Like, how can you take care of your child emotionally? Because we had a meltdown this morning where Eliana just started crying because she was just missing her friends. She just,
And
a FaceTime wasn't enough. And I mean, it's been so many days now, so I can completely understand how she's feeling. And having articles like that where you guys speak about your kids' emotions, also practical articles where you guys talk about moms working from home. I mean, I can kind of do it because all our girls were at home till they were 3 years old. But I mean, for a lot of moms, this is like a first time, and they're like, how do I do this now?
so
Because the world is gone.
how did you handle the meltdown this morning? I mean, we've all had it. Our kids, no matter how old they are, they're going through these emotions. So what advice would you have for other moms out there who go through the same?
I think letting them go through it, that actually helps. Understanding, because she's a very reserved little girl and she's really strong. She's very strong. So for her to be at that moment where she was busy doing her homeschooling, and I think that was also interesting for her because now it's like, okay, we're like doing something formal here. It's kind of, she's reminded that, oh, we do this in class. And I think that triggered her. It was something that she recognized from school, and then she kind of felt overwhelmed that my teacher isn't here, my friends aren't here. So I just kind of walked with her through the emotions. I let her cry. I gave her a moment to just talk about what she was feeling. I held her, and then I explained to her that this won't last forever. It's okay to feel like this. You're allowed to kind of have a meltdown. And today, my post on Instagram was actually, I woke up with a phrase in my mind that said connection over perfection. And I shared it on my Instagram today because I just felt that it was a phrase that I needed for like the second part of lockdown that we were going into, because we were all kind of okay, like with the 21 days. The kids, everybody had like, we had a countdown. It was going to be this week, it was going to end. And now having to kind of reboot is difficult for all of us. So my focus has changed to connecting and staying connected with our girls. And that's what I did. And the moment when she had that meltdown, I stopped with everything. I let her experience her emotions. I held her hand, I held her, I let her cry. And then we spoke about the fact that, you know, this won't be forever. There will be a time when it's different. And then we started again.
So, Marie-Louise, I'd love to ask, I mean, all the people that are watching now, right now, how many of you have had that meltdown moment, whether it's yourself, with your child, and what have you done to help you get through that moment? Please post it for us now. I'd love to hear what everybody else has done, because it's always to share and to learn. And each child is so different as well. So they might need a different kind of comforting, right?
Yes, and I think age does play a big role, because I can see like Ava, she's our youngest, she's almost 3. And I mean, she's told me she's not going back to school. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have a problem there. We're going to probably have like a whole new, you're starting school from scratch, because she's just like, she's got no interest. She's staying at home forever. So I think like it's so difficult when you've got different age children. And my heart just go out to like matriculants. How is this your final year of school? And parents that have to help their kids with grade 10 science, like I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, I kind of still feel we have it kind of easy. Because I mean, my sister has high school kids, and they are literally like sitting in Zoom classes from like 9 to 5. And I don't know how you cope.
Yeah. And, you know, I think every year with your children, no matter how old they are, there are always milestone moments that you look forward to, whether it's at school or whether it's home, developmentally. There's always those milestone moments. I mean, my daughter had her matric dance beginning of May. We haven't even started with her dress yet. So thankfully, I'm quite happy that it's been moved and postponed. You know.
Yeah.
kind of milestone moments that you look forward to? Now, Marie-Louise, tell me, you wrote an article for us about local produce, right, and supporting local brands. Tell us a little bit more about that. Why are you passionate about that in particular?
Okay, well, it's actually a passion that I share with my husband because we are both entrepreneurs, and he's also a local manufacturer. So I think like it's just part of kind of who we are. But I think now more than ever, it's so important for people to understand why supporting local isn't just a trend or something fun to do. Because imports, although balance is important, it's really important to note that we're not against imports at all. We are just when we shop and when we support, we're very conscious about the balance of imports and exports, because when you import, a big part of your population, you become dependent. And when you become dependent, a big part of your population will lose jobs, and it'll escalate into poverty and inequality. And that's the thing you don't want. You don't want a small group of people to benefit from easy, quick, trendy imports, and then the majority actually struggling, because we don't always realize that every import means a job that could have been done maybe locally. And I think that's where our passion lies. It's not necessarily about the product, although the local designers, manufacturers, they are amazing. The quality, the aesthetics, the designs they come up with, once that kind of swallows you, you'll be so surprised at what's available. But I think people kind of don't know or choose to turn a blind eye, because there's a definite, our choices have consequences. There's a definite consequence to every item we buy, we bring into our home. And a lot of the time, we don't see the fact that those imports that we maybe love, they have a higher cost. And the cost is to our own economy and our own people, and people that maybe could have done that job just as well, maybe even better. But the imports just took that away from them. And over time, obviously, the gap just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think like that's where our heart lies with buying local. It's to build our economy and to help our country, because we've got so much poverty, and especially coming out of COVID-19 and lockdown, I think supporting local is going to be more important than ever.
Completely. I think when we all come out of this, it is so important for all your favorite shops. Think about it. What are all your favorite local shops that are out here in South Africa?
There's so many.
Right? And I'd love to know what your favorite brands are, those of you that are watching. What are your favorite local brands? What are your favorite local shops? And if those are your favorites, how would you cope if they were not there, if they did not exist? Okay. So it is very important that each of us, I think, after we come out of this process, to be able to support them in some way, in the smallest way, whether the littlest amount of money that you spend with them will ensure that those companies go on. Exactly. So yeah, I'm rooting for that. So those of you that are watching, tell us what your local brands are that you support. I'm looking forward to some of these. Maybe they'll be on your list too, Marie-Louise.
Yes, I did list them in the magazine as well. So if you go and look at the magazine, like under my favorite things and under some of our favorite stuff for baby, and under my article, I did list quite a few brands. There's so many. If I have to narrow them down to, let's say, mommy and me brands, or like mom and baby brands, I would definitely say some of them have already felt the impact of lockdown. Some of them have unfortunately already had to take other steps. But I think like what you just said, like in any small way, it's not about, we don't live in a house with no imports. It's just about like being a responsible shop and that balance, and seeing it that I on. There's wonderful toy brands. Our girls have been playing with stumped toys. It's stumped wooden toy brand. They've got beautiful wooden board games for kids, 4 in a row and stuff like that. And then I'm a big Ubuntu Baba mama. Like even now when I'm cleaning, I put Ava on my back. Like I feel every mom needs a baby carrier. And at the moment I'm wearing Flink. It's a proudly South African brand, and Nursing Momsy. It's a breastfeeding dress that I'm still wearing because it's just so comfortable. But that's the thing, like I love South African fashion, and a lot of the times you can get South African fashion made in South Africa on sale for affordable prices, especially for kids. Lullaby Rock, Anapetat Kids, Dandelion Kids. Then you've got brands like Pure Beginnings. I always think about Pure Beginnings. They started at MamaMagic in a little cardboard box. I remember them in one of those corner units. They were selling their stuff out of their box. And we bought, and now they're a wonderful brand, a wonderful South African brand with a wonderful story of how they grew from something small to now being in Woolies. And yeah, there's so many others. You've got beautiful shoe brands like Little P Walkmates, and all of them are made locally, and people are surprised. They usually tell me, but how can this be made locally? Because they don't expect the quality to be good. Veldskoen is now all over Woolworths. Like my husband, we bought him some Veldskoen for a pair of Veldskoen for his birthday, and he loves them. Vosk has beautiful sneakers, and I love the fact that so many local brands, they don't just manufacture locally, but they also give back locally. So a lot of the times when you buy a pair of shoes, they'll also donate a pair of shoes to kids in need, because I think as South Africans, we are far more aware of inequality and poverty, because we live in a country where we all have seen it, and we can't deny it. Where I think, you know, maybe international brands, they do a lot of stuff as well, but I know Caitlin De Beer, she's a local mom that's running beautiful mom courses at the moment, all web-based. Yeah. And she's donating one of her courses, she's donating half of her funds to an orphanage in need during this time. So there's so many local brands that are doing stuff now at this moment, and also contributing to other places in need, literally in our country. So I think that's the thing with local brands. The list is crazy long. Like you can just go on and leave me here for an hour, and I'll just be running down. I'll be like Lullaby Rock, Tiger Lily, Nordic Nurse. Get a pen and paper.
Download your copy of Milestones magazine. Have a look at all Marie-Louise's favorites. She's got mommy and baby favorites, and like you said, the holistic. If you follow her, you constantly see her wearing them, using them, and that's wonderful. But she's a big fan of local, and that's great. Because the other thing that I loved, I must admit, is you opened my eyes out to lots of lovely local places that I haven't been to. Maybe because I don't live on your neck of the woods, but gosh, if I can't travel overseas at this point in time, or can we to your neighbor?
Exactly. Pretoria, people underestimate, like, we don't have a beach or a huge mountain or stuff like that, but I think like Pretoria, the people in Pretoria is amazing. It's really like living in a teeny tiny town, although it's a city. And there's a lot of culture in Pretoria. We love doing stuff, being outdoors, having fun together. I think that's why this lockdown, everybody's just like, okay, we're going to Zoom bride. So we've had a Zoom bride.
Those highlights that you mentioned in the magazine as well, of your special places in Pretoria.
Yeah, look, I mean, we are definitely missing stuff like hiking with our dogs. We've got so many amazing dog parks and trails, like hiking trails and biking trails like Wolvespreit. There's Paws of the East where you can take your pups and they can go wild. We are missing going to like the Boeremark for our fresh produce. Definitely missing Hazel Food Market. That's like lovely to just have as a Saturday morning outing. When it was raining, I wouldn't have minded going to the fun room. It would have been a little bit more fun having the kids like get rid of that energy. But it's okay. We made an obstacle course. So we made it work. But I mean, we're definitely missing like small stuff, like an ice cream, a Paul's ice cream, stuff like that. You know, I think that's what lockdown has just awoken in all of us, like just being thankful for those small little things that maybe you took for granted because they were available so easily.
Yeah. So lastly, before we go, tell us, what are you busy doing at home during lockdown, and what has it taught you about you and your family during this time?
Oh, what are we busy doing? I wish we were doing less. I wish, I sometimes look at these posts and I'm like, what job could I do where I could now be in lockdown without having to work? Like, who is not like working during lockdown in some way?
Yeah.
But I think like the nature, I'm very thankful for the fact that my job and my husband's job, I mean, for Alec, lockdown has just meant none of his employees are working with him, but he works from home. He's got a home office outside. So he literally walks out the door at 8 and then he's back at 5. So for him, lockdown has kind of stayed the same.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have anybody that's sharing his office with him. And then we can kind of like lure him in for lunch if we try hard. But for me, I think my approach to lockdown has been taking one thing at a time. I'm really sticking to, I do want it. I get that my kids are here and they're only here. So I do want it to be special for them. So we do one activity a day, whether it's baking or doing a craft or painting or whatever. We'll do one activity a day. I try and do one load of washing a day. I try and clean one room really well a day. The rest we kind of just neaten and then we start again by the end of the week. But my approach has kind of been to just take it one day at a time, one thing at a time, and to try and not feel the pressure, because I think we all do it. We look at other families and we look at the WhatsApp groups and all the information, because we are being overloaded with information. And we try really hard, but if we're honest, we do compare, and it kind of doubts, and that it creeps into your heart. So for me, my rule has been one thing a day, one activity, one meal, perfect meal, just like one, because I'm not like a let's have a full breakfast, let's have a cooked lunch, let's have a wow dinner. I'm like let's have one good meal a day, and then we'll do leftovers. And then thank goodness for cereal. So for me, it's been like sticking to one. That has, I think, kept me sane.
That's absolutely clear. Look, I mean, I think we all learn as we go. And I think that's a really, really clever idea. One thing a day. Don't try and overextend and over-accomplish. And you watch everybody else and you think, oh, that looks like a cool idea. But pace yourself, pace the cleaning. Don't overdo it. Just pace yourself and enjoy this time with your children. It's been an absolute pleasure having you as our guest.
So quickly.
I know. We'll definitely talk again, but it's been an absolute pleasure having you as our guest, Ed. I love your whole stance on being a girl mum and how you
thank you.
Own that, and it's absolutely beautiful. It really, really is beautiful. I really enjoy your writing. I've been through all your blogs, and it's really entertaining. And I think our mums are going to learn, and dads are going to learn so much. You and your family are always willing and ready to learn from each other. So thank you so much. We'll see you on the other side of lockdown, I hope. For those you can download our magazine from the MamaMagic website, and the link will be posted on MamaMagic Instagram page as well. And Marie-Louise will share the link with you as well. So do enjoy the read. If you have any questions, post them, send them to us. We'll try and get them answered. We just want to hold your hand and help you through this way, and make sure that we all are safer and stronger at the end of all of this. So thank you, Marie-Louise.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me for this magazine especially. Moms, just go and read it. Really, like I truly have to applaud you guys. The content that you guys obviously just adapted so quickly to fit like what we are going through now, I think it's extremely valuable. I think so many moms are going to find those articles helpful and motivating. So really, thank you so much for including me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And thanks to all that joined us this afternoon. Absolute
Yes.
pleasure to join us and listening in. If you have any questions, like I said, post it, keep following. We've got some wonderful experts lined up for you this week as well, between Warren and myself. And if you have anybody else that you'd like us to have on our MamaMagic Live, do share that with us, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, Mara.
Bye bye.